Welcome back. Let's talk about the politics in Edo State. Now, shortly after his reinstatement as Deputy Governor of the state by the Federal High Court, Philip Shaibu has officially defected from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. Now, Shaibu, alongside other members of the PDP Legacy Coalition Group, announced their defection in Benin City at the inauguration of the National Campaign Council of the APC for the September governorship election in the state. Recall that Shaibu was formerly a member of the APC until 2020 when he defected to the PDP with Governor Godwin Obaseki. He, however, fell out with Obaseki over his ambition to succeed his principal and was sacked after losing to Aswe Igodalo in the PDP primaries. In fact, he did not take part in that primary. Shaibu was thereafter impeached by the State House of Assembly on April 8, 2024 over allegations of gross misconduct and disclosure of government secrets before he was last week reinstated by a federal high court in Abuja, which nullified his removal from office. Shaibu's return to Benin City after his reinstatement as a deputy governor by a federal high court in Abuja was actually marred by chaos as a police officer was a police officer now attached to the APC governorship candidate for the Edo State governorship election Monday Okwebolo was actually killed in that clash. Regardless, the deputy governor has vowed to remain in office till when the governorship election is conducted. He's also declared support for his former party's governorship candidate for the upcoming Edo State governorship election. That's his declared support now for Monday Okwebolo. Well, joining me now to discuss this is legal expert Libros Oshoma. Also joining me from Edo State is the President National Campaign Marshal of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Zillian Omerable. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for coming on the program. Very quickly, let me start with you, Libros. Does this defection, this latest defection by Philip Shaibu, does it in any way affect his position as the reinstated deputy governor of Edo State?
DG, unfortunately, one would have expected that when, just like Section 109 of the Constitution, that when a governor or when a member of the parliament defects from one party to another, the party that elected him into office, and that he should vacate his seat. But unfortunately, I'm holding a copy of the Constitution here. There is no such provision in the Constitution. And when the matter was brought before the Court of Appeal, you remember Umahi's case. Umahi defected from the PDP and went to APC. Him and his deputy governor, the PDP approached the court on the ground that the Umahi's seat should be declared vacant. Him and his deputy governor. And the Court of Appeal said, since there is no such provision in our law books, and that unfortunately he can continue to occupy that seat. And so that is the unfortunate, part we find ourselves, where governors or deputy governor, even here we are, this is not the first time, the governor, the Shaibu and his estranged, what do you call it now, governor, once left the APC and moved into PDP, despite being elected on the platform of the APC then. So there is nothing in the Constitution that says, I would have loved a situation where once you leave, but unfortunately that is not the position. It does not affect him in any way. And it brings us back to Obasanjo and Atiku. Obasanjo was in PDP, Atiku left PDP and moved into ACN. And the court also said that since it's a joint ticket, that he cannot be removed from office on the ground that he has moved from one party to another. That's the unfortunate part we find ourselves until the Constitution is amended.
Okay, as we speak, there is a contention whether Philip Shaibu is still the deputy governor of the state. There's that contention now between his camp and the camp of the PDP. That's the governor's camp now. Of course, the court reinstated him, but then the government of Edo State has come out to say he is still not the deputy governor of the state because they have filed an appeal. And but Philip Shaibu, of course, has carried on as the deputy governor. From your understanding of this case and understanding of the law, what exactly should be the position of things?
It is not in the mouth of anybody, really, once the law is what the court says it is. And once the court says this is the position of the law, it is not in the mouth of anybody to say, look, I will not obey that law. Otherwise, we would descend into anarchy. And it's a notorious fact that an appeal or a stay of execution in civil matters and criminal matters on itself does not act as a stay. The court must make a pronouncement on it. Unlike electoral matters, where once an application for stay of execution, once an appeal is filed, you don't even need to stay the execution of that judgment. Once an appeal is filed, status quo is maintained. But so as not to rob a judgment creditor of the fruit of his labor, a stay of execution, application for stay of execution, ipso facto, does not act as a stay of execution until court will grant that stay, because there are grounds for granting a stay of execution. There must be cogent and arguable appeal for the court to grant a stay of execution. The fact that you have filed a stay of execution on its own does not act as a stay of execution. And moreover, in a declaratory judgment, what you do, there's a declaratory judgment that what the court had done is to make a pronouncement on the declaration of section 188, subsection 11. So that declaratory judgment also, you don't stay a declaratory judgment, you file an injunction pending appeal, because it's a declaration and not an executory order. Then the subsequent order made is what you can apply to stay. So in that stead, what the Edo State government should do, like they have done, is to apply for accelerated hearing so that during vacation, the matter can be heard, granted accelerated hearing, and then a stay of execution is determined one way or the other. Even if the stay is, since the matter, a final judgment has been delivered, and I don't know if appeal has been entered. Once appeal has been entered, then the Court of Appeal becomes seize of the matter, and then the Court of Appeal would be the court to take the stay of execution. Until that is granted, I think the state government is just basically grandstanding.
So essentially, Philip Shaibu is the substantive deputy governor of Edo State as we speak.
Legally speaking, yes.
Legally speaking. Zillian, let me come to you now. You look at all of this drama playing out in your state, and of course your party preparing for the governorship election. There's no question at all that this is a huge distraction for your party as it prepares for that election.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here again with you, my very good big brother and friend. Like you have said, it is very necessary we look into all these issues categorically so we can, understand. And also, we look at from the society at large and what Edo as it stands right now needs, Like you said, distraction, of course. We know definitely as we are, facing the election, a lot of distraction will come. But like I continue to tell our people and the candidate of the party, Dr. Aswe Igodalu, I've made him to understand severally, which I know he knows even before me telling him that we must be focused to face the challenges ahead. Definitely, of course, we are aware a lot of challenges. More will come. A lot of people will defect from the party, and definitely a lot of people will come. The most important thing is that what we are concerned about is Edo people, because we believe and we know, we are sure that Edo people are with us. Edo people cannot be, you cannot use them politically. You cannot look them as fools, because they are people that are educated, they are sound, mentally, and they know what they want. Of course, they've decided it's that's where Igodalo. So any distraction coming, we know how to handle them. Talking about the court case, you didn't ask that, but I think I should, digress a little about the court case that we have been saying. Of course, the High Court in Abuja gave a substantial judgment to say Philip Shaibu is the legal deputy governor of Edo State. Of course, that's for the High Court, of which the state have, already appealed that, to say they want stay of execution. It means that the process continued again from Court of Appeal. But nevertheless, the next day was when the deputy governor, the former deputy governor, Right Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu.
Now, when you say the former deputy governor, we've just been made to understand now that he is actually the deputy governor. So he is and he carries himself as the deputy governor.
Speaking.
So when you use the word former,
he is speaking. I'm telling you, in another direction, you would have listened.
Okay.
to my own direction. The government, if Edo State government is saying you are working in a place, but not, I don't want to digress to that point first. Let me explain to you what I mean when I said he just came to Edo
Okay.
State. He came to Edo State with the APC governorship candidates. Before he defected, they came together. Before they were coming, they had to mobilize some thugs. People like Tony Kabaka in Edo State, a lot of these thugs. They were mobilized. Ebosto, I saw one Pastor Casey, who go to the people. I don't know why people still attend that church. But anyway, he was shouting, Obaseki won't kill us, or Obaseki won't kill us. And we are seeing a video where the thugs, Shaibu mobilized, and Kabaka and the rest of them, they were holding Paul Passion in that video. And Edo people are aware of these things. So people are coming to welcome you as the former deputy governor, or as the deputy governor, as the court has said. You now need to mobilize people to wait for you at the airport. You did not mobilize just people, you mobilized thugs that were fully armed. And the security man that they said that was shot in that particular scene was the security man to the APC candidate, Mondo Mevodo. So what was he doing there? I know people will say, you are not emotional. You don't think
Anyway,
about the life
look, I understand the point, but unfortunately, we are actually not
he was not
discussing that
supposed to be on
incident.
that
What we're
scene. And
discussing,
the people, the talk that they were
Zillian,
mobilized,
if you
were
can
the
hear
one that
me.
shot him. You
Yeah,
understand?
Zillian,
And in
if
the
you can
essence
hear
of
me.
because you want to assume the office of the deputy governor. So in the real sense is this. He would have waited. We expected him. I'm a comrade. We expected him to at least wait for 2-3 days. You don't take the laws into your hand. Okay, we understand what you are saying. That was what the High Court just said in Abuja. That you are. Okay, you just came the next day. Why mobilizing thugs to wait for you at the
But
airport?
Zillian, let me ask you this. Why would he need to wait? If the court has pronounced him the deputy governor, why would he need to wait for 2-3 days to take his position?
Okay. Now you are coming to the state government house with the candidate of APC with thugs armed, coming to government house to come and take, I don't know, wearing the cap of opponent. Let's be realistic. I know what the law states. You understand? But we are the citizens. We reside here in Edo State. We know what we are facing. Sometimes we don't sleep because of all these insurgents and all these crises. So we must talk basically on what is happening in our state and tell the rightful people. You wanted to cause chaos. Why come me with talks? I can show you some pictures, send you some videos.
But very quickly, Zillian, let's just get something. Excuse me, Zillian, excuse me. I want us to just get something straight. As unfortunate as that incident was, that's actually not the subject of our discussion at this time. We're looking at, let's talk about the defection now. How badly do you think it's going to affect your party? Even though, after the impeachment, Philip Shaibu had not really identified with you. Now he's announced his defection. Quite a number of people have gone with him. And there are some members too, some members of your party who are very close to the governor. I'll point another one, Ansem Ojezwa, for instance. I know he's no longer in your camp. So all of this must be a problem for your party.
Okay. Very good question. It is better to have people that are working and, wanting the progress of the party with us. And we know the kind of people we have with us, and we have people that are not with us and they are with us. So seeing people leaving us at this point because they are angry that they are supposed to have the ticket and forgotten that at the time they came 2020 to PDP, there were people already that, the PDP were supposed to give tickets. But because they were good enough and they were not having a platform to, progress, they have to come together and leave and say, okay, you fly and go, and they support it. So if you have decided not to support us because you were denied the ticket, and because we've now said it, let's take it to Edo Central, and you decide to leave us, I don't think it's a bad situation. We are going to have a lot of persons, that will join us as soon as I think about the day before yesterday, we have about 4 APC leaders from a particular local government who said they cannot work for APC because of the candidate they have. They defected, they came to PDP. So we don't basically base on those that are leaving us now. We base on those that are coming. And because Edo people, they already love us for Igodalu. And, you join another party to fight the choice of Edo people, I don't think it's wise enough. So a lot of people will come and join us soon. I don't think there is cause for alarm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Libros, you look at what is playing out, especially with the PDP in Edo State. I mean, it can be argued that their problem is actually self-inflicted, especially with the way this whole issue of impeachment was handled. You look at some of the crises that the party is dealing with at the moment. Needless, I should say, quite needless in large part now, and that it's a problem that it created for itself.
Yeah, first and foremost, I must say this. I think an APC member would have been in the best position to be on the other side of this program. But I'm here. I think also, like you said, it's self-inflicted. I did warn, when all of this crisis started, that PDP cannot afford a divided house. No matter how much they want to grandstand. Politics is about people. The same way APC, tried not to have a divided house. You remember during their primaries, it was almost tearing the party into two. You have Oshomole on one side, and then you have DEJI360 and co on the other side. But at the end of the day, they were able to close ranks, and they tried to trudge on despite all of the shortcomings that they have. Then you have the Labour Party in the state, which you can't say enjoy the massive sweep that they had during the presidential election, but also you can't rule out the influence and the savviness of Olumide Akpata, who is waiting in the lodge to harvest, from all of this self-inflicted crisis from both the PDP and the APC. So, that said, political parties, every election, they will always have crisis. How well they manage the crisis is left to them. Philip Shaibu and Obaseki, as Ikubend had crisis from the APC, they moved into a PDP, and promises were made. But at the end of the day, now there is a new food to share, and you saw the crisis that it has created with everybody going their separate ways. And those people that Philip Shaibu had called names before, I saw how shameless it was. When Philip Shaibu went to kneel down before Oshomole, for me, it was a outrageous display of irresponsibility, really. After all he said, in the last election. But that's politics in Nigeria.
Yeah, exactly.
There are no ideology. There are no permanent friend. All you have is permanent interest. So I will not be surprised if tomorrow you still see Philip Shaibu and Obaseki come together and knock heads or rub heads together, and then one calling the other one my older brother and my younger brother and the rest. But going into election, we cannot deny the fact that Asue Ighodaro has a lot of groundwork to do. Even a lot of people supporting Asue today also, a lot of them also, you can say, do not like Obaseki's style of politics. Obaseki has created more problems. But I think also Asue, so far, he's been able to manage and try to pull himself away from that Godfather toga that a lot have won on him, saying he's Obaseki's, it's a pawn in Obaseki's hand. So he's been able to play that. How well he's able to play it and extricate himself from all the crises that Obaseki has created for himself and PDP, that will also help Asue in the long run. For Philip Shaibu, yes, you can't also rule him out. He has, it would definitely have some, sympathy votes here and there, especially for Edo North, where he came from, where before now he could struggle with Oshomole. Closing rank with Oshomole and Danobi in that area would be a very tall order for PDP, especially also the deputy governorship candidate of the Labour Party is also from Auchi, is a prince from Auchi. So, and then the two major candidates are from Esan Central. While there are three major candidates in actual sense. Two of the candidates are from Central, one from Ewohimi, the other one from Irua, but well known in Uromi, while Olumide is from Benin. So Benin will be a battleground. And I love the fact that it's been campaigned. The PDP had their mega rally campaign yesterday, and there were no noise about it. I also would want to see the APC do so, and there should be no noise and there should be no crisis. So that let's begin to have, debate and discussions of ideas. Let it truly be about the people, and not mouthing that it's about the people, while in actual sense, really, the actions are otherwise. So we want to see, a deeper conversation around this, and the people will actually be the beneficiary for it.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming on the program. Unfortunately, we're out of time. We would have loved to continue this discussion, but we haven't. We've actually run out of time. Thank you very much, Zillian Omorable, who, of course, joined us from Edo State, and Libros Oshoma. Libros, of course, you're from Edo State as well, so you're a stakeholder. And how the election plays out is very important for you. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us, don't go away.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
Because when you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.